Welcome. In this video, we're going to use the chain rule to find two derivatives. That is our first function h, which is sine of x cubed. And then actually, I'm going to rewrite this one so it's g of x. There we are. Mostly so they're both in function notation. So the second function is sine cubed of x. And let's see how these derivatives are different. So let's begin. Let's begin with finding h prime of x. So first of all, the derivative of the outer function, and in this case the outer function is sine. The derivative of sine is cosine, so we want cosine x cubed times the derivative with respect to x of the inner function, which is x cubed. And you know, I'm going to stick to one notation. I'm using prime notation, so there we are. I'll just stick to prime notation here. So this is cosine x cubed times 3x squared. So we really have 3x squared cosine x cubed. And that is h prime of x. All right, so now let's look at g prime of x. And before we find g prime of x, let's remember that g of x is sine cubed x. Well, when you think of trig functions, when they have an exponent here between the name of the trig function and the input, what this really means is the trig function cubed. So now the outer function is the cubed function, and we need to apply the power rule first. So 3 sine of x to the 3 minus 1 power times the derivative of the inner function, which is sine x. So the derivative of sine x. So this is 3 times sine x quantity squared times cosine x. And we can rewrite this as 3 sine squared x cosine x. So the most important thing to notice from these derivatives, and I'll write h of x again here so we can make this comparison very clear, is that the inner function, I'm going to highlight that inner function in yellow. For h is x cubed, but for g it's sine x, so the inner function is different. In fact, the inner function and the outer function are reversed, so they're swapped. So the inner function in this case is x cubed, the inner function here is sine x, and then the outer function for h is equal to sine, and the outer function here is x cubed. So the inner and outer functions are swapped for h of x and g of x. Hopefully this video has helped you further your calculus knowledge.